The Midland GXT1000VP4 is a must-have if you're adventurous, as it's one of the best long-range two-way radios available in the market. It's been specifically designed to operate with a 36-mile radius. It's got a number of features, including over 300 privacy codes, vibrate alert, and can accommodate up to 50 channels. It can withstand rain or water splashing on it because of its waterproof features, and it has an impeccable whisper function. The whisper function allows one to speak quietly and still be heard clearly by the recipient. It's a long-range radio that comes in handy if you find yourself lost in the woods or in an emergency situation, since it allows you to send a distress signal with ease. If you're a long-distance traveler, you'll be able to enjoy and still stay safe because of its weather alert function. You'll receive weather alerts and will have ample time to prepare accordingly. Lastly, it features an automatic channel search with a dual watch function. This means you don't have to manually search for channels that may be available in your locality and can monitor 2 channels at the same time. It also has a keypad lock. This keeps your settings safely locked in the radio. This radio is also the best walkie-talkie for hiking. On the downside, transmissions beyond 2 watts require a license. Overall, it's the best long-range two-way radio that we've reviewed.
What is going on, guys? So today I wanted to show you the Midland GTX Pro Series two-way radios or walkie-talkies. This is the GXT1050VP4 is the model. So basically what this is, these are waterproof designs. These are a 2-pack with everything that you need. So it comes with the 2-pack of the radios. You get the charging base, you get a car lighter adapter, which is awesome, 2 rechargeable batteries, a wall plug, as well as 2 headsets and mics, so you can do the kind of wireless usage in that way as well, if that's something that you're into. So very, very cool little set. I got this one. This is the Breakup Country by Mossy Oak. So I got a camo version because I'd like to keep things camo because I'm using these specifically for hunting. So very cool there. So as you can see, there's everything that comes in the package here. These guys have 22 channels plus 28 additional pre-programmed channels, 142 privacy codes, which is awesome, 10 different call tones that you can use, 5 animal call tones, which is pretty crazy. You've got group calls, you got SOS sirens, you got JIS4 waterproof, whisper mode, NOAA weather alert option as well, which is great. You got the weather scan. It's just there's so much going on here. Outside of that, they've got all the controls that you need right here on the front. Again, using this headset, this is gonna have the earpiece and the microphone. So you can put that in your ear and you can use it for full communication. You just need to push the button and you'll be able to do that. It also has the button out here on the lanyard, on the cord itself. So that makes it very easy to access. So if you're out in the field, you don't want to be moving around very much, you can reach up and just push that button and you can talk really quietly and be able to hear each other when you're on the move or when you're stalking prey or whatever it is that you're doing. Definitely a cool feature there.
With Motorola's new T800, there's finally some new and original functionality to talk about. The T800 connects to a smartphone via Bluetooth and will integrate with Motorola's new Talkabout app, which is available for iPhone and Android. The app basically uses the radios as a modem, which enables features like message and location sharing that work even when you're off the grid. We'll go into more detail on the app in a moment, but first, let's take a closer look at the radio. The T800 is similar in function to the T480, but with Bluetooth app support and a design change. I think the new design is an improvement. It features a cool new display that reminds me of the SL300 commercial radio. It's solid black when off, but looks great and is easy to read when on. The front panel buttons are now raised icons, which should be easier to find and identify when the radio is out of sight, such as when it's clipped to your belt. Towards the bottom, the radio narrows and turns into a loop. While this can be useful for connecting a clip or a lanyard, it also makes the radio a little harder to balance on a flat surface. On the left side of the radio are controls for activating the flashlight, high and low power push-to-talk buttons, Bluetooth pairing button, and an emergency alert. On the other side is a micro USB charging port. When you launch the app for the first time, you'll be asked to pair it with the radio. This is very simple and doesn't even require pressing a button on the radio. Just make sure the only radio that's on is the one you want to pair. The final step of the setup process creates an account that's linked to your phone number. You can skip this, but it does make a few of the features on the app work better. Most of the app is centered around maps and location sharing. You can download maps offline and share your location, or view the location of your group members, even if you don't have cell phone service. The app supports adding members to your group using their username or phone number if they created an account during setup. Once you have your group, an easy pairing option is available, which basically sets all radios to match the channel and subcode of the leader radio.
Today we're talking about emergency preparedness. We are looking at the Motorola T480. This is an emergency two-way radio. The great thing about it is communicators from different companies can talk to each other, so you don't have to buy a matched pair. But Motorola is big in this space, and the T480 is their emergency preparedness version of this radio. And as technology has gotten better, they've packed more features into these things, and they're getting cheaper. So I really like this. This is, of course, a two-way radio. It has 22 different channels, and inside of each one of those channels is 121 privacy codes. So there are thousands of little sub-channels to choose from. You are not talking privately on these things. People can hear you if they tune to the same channel you're on. So just know that. But for finding a quiet channel, it's pretty easy to be able to talk to people. The range on this, Motorola advertises 35 miles of range, but that is if one person's on top of a mountain and the other person is 35 miles away and with a very clear line of sight. You're likely going to get about a mile of range in the city with these things, which is really not bad. The T480 is weatherproof. It's IP54 weatherproof, which means the ports on the top and on the side are covered with little rubber doors, and as long as those little rubber doors are closed, it is splash proof and it is dust proof. Take these things to a festival, give one to your kid if you're going to the Rangers game. Lots of uses for the emergency radio. And what makes this an emergency radio is they've added a couple of features. You can listen to NOAA weather radio on this. You can listen to FM radio on this. It has a flashlight. It has an emergency alert button. So if you have a group of people with these things and you're all on the same channel, you can hit one button and it will send out an emergency tone to everybody. So if you're camping out in the woods, this is a great way to communicate. Throw this in your emergency box at home, or 2 of these or 4 of these, for your family.
Today we're talking about this guy, which is the Bofang BF8HP radio. Big picture, this is a 8-watt dual band two-way radio, meaning can transmit at 8 watts, dual band, meaning UHF and VHF, and two-way, meaning you can actually transmit on those frequencies as well. Which brings us to the question of a ham, having a ham license. I absolutely do not, have no desire to get one, not going to. But how does this still provide value for me? Going back to this being a two-way radio that I can transmit as well as receive on, granted, not being a licensed ham operator, you can actually get on a bunch of different channels. What I'm about to tell you is absolutely illegal. Do I encourage you to do it? Absolutely not. But letter of the law, spirit of the law, if I'm going to break a law and get myself or someone else out of a bad situation and get them to, say, some serious medical help that they need, you know what? I'll cross that bridge later after I get them the help that they need. So what frequencies do I have on this guy? Basically made myself this handy little ghetto laminated cheat sheet that I keep with it. You could absolutely affix this. At the end of the day, $63 to get myself out of a really bad situation out in the backcountry where maybe there's no other method for contacting someone. That's probably money well spent.